Right. So welcome to the TJ tribe. I am going to go as fast as I can, but the idea is that we meet on a regular basis, and the idea is to connect. And whilst we are connecting, we are learning, and from the learning, we can be able to thrive and thrive in our business. This is an online gathering, so which do means that where you can be on camera so that the other people know who you are, and you can show them some nice teeth. Even if you don't have the teeth, it don't matter. We are not here to judge your teeth, but you're here to connect with you and learn and thrive. And throughout the session, you can unmute or mute yourself. So please, you can use the mic there by you. Please be on mute for the meantime until we go into other rooms. And try to be prepared as well as we go along in the sessions. There'll be others to come, know what you're here for, whether it's for learning. Make sure that at least you got a book and a pen so that you can be able to follow whatever that we're doing here. And there might be some deals here that might come through. Within those deals, please do your own research. And above that, stay close to the fire. I almost want to say to you guys, I have made some money in real estate, and I have not made money because of my own self. I have made money by connecting with other people. So I want to almost say to you guys, the money is in this room. That's where the money is, right? You can only make money when you're connecting with other people. And that's how you do business. Basically, it's put. So all of you guys that are learning with me at the TJ Tribe, you know that. So it is great to having you all on board. I want to jump onto the comments. Anyone in the comments, where are you watching us from? Someone says from East London. Welcome from East London. Cape Town, welcome. Where are the others joining us from? Anyone who's out of the country. Anyone who is from out of the country. I've got two residents that I'm going to be introducing to you. Resident number one is, who should I go with first? Maybe let's start with Expelo. So resident number one is Expelo. She was here first. And Expelo, the lady's name, her name is Elise Relu. And Elise, she is going to be our resident professional, and she is going to be talking about or giving us some information about evictions. If you're in the real estate business, you want to know all the tricks, everything that's happening in the tricks. So Elise, she's going to be that person for us. Then resident number two is going to be Pateka. Some of you would know her. I hear in some circles, Pateka goes with Usis Pateka. So I don't know whether it's a pseudonym or what, but anyway, she'll tell us. So welcome, Pateka. So those are the two residents that we have for today. And basically how the sessions is going to run, guys. This is the first time we're doing this, but there'll be many others to come as we go along. To start off, I want to say that number one, we will go through what we call updates, and our residents will give us the updates. And I also want to ask you a question. So far, we have evictions, and we've got legal, and we were planning to have the town planner in the house as well to also give us some updates and feedback on what's happening out there and to teach us something, right? Which other professions? So this is a question to you. Which other questions would you want for us to go and find a resident so that we can have someone else who will come in and always give us some feedback? Right. Without wasting time, we'll go on into the program. So firstly, how the program is going to go. Number one, we will introduce all of our residents. You have done that. Then number two, we will go into a networking session. From a networking session, we will go into deals. From a deal, we will go into a guest speaker, and from a guest speaker, we'll go into questions and answers. And lastly, we'll have another question and answer, another networking session, and then we'll close the event by no later than 20 past 8 o'clock. Awesome. Patricia, over to you. You have 3 minutes, and your clock starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Pateka, and thank you, TJ, for this platform. I'm sorry, my voice is kind of gone. I think the flu is coming to visit my side. So, what I would like to update us today is about estate planning. That is the living beyond your lifetime. So, what is important in us as property investors is to make sure that we don't just invest. We have to make sure that we also cater for what will happen should the Almighty remember us. So, meaning what will happen to our children, what will happen to our spouses. So, when we talk about estate planning, we're talking about that. So, firstly, what is this estate planning? It is the process of anticipating and arranging for the management and disposal of a person's estate. So you do that during your lifetime, you don't do it after. And also it's in preparation for if in any event of death or in the event of incapacity. So you are just planning for the future, like to put it in a simple way. And it also helps you control who will inherit your money or will inherit your properties. And you can choose who can also make your medical and financial decisions in the event of incapacity. And then again, the importance of estate planning. So estate planning is very important for us because one, it protects our loved ones, for example, with the legal hassles and financial uncertainties. And also it relieves the burdens on our loved one, meaning you can be able to choose who's going to be your guardian for your minor children. And also it maximizes our inheritance through planning. So meaning minimizing your legal costs, whereby you know who's going to be your executor. And also you try and run away from paying those executors' fees. And then lastly, what are the key components to estate planning? Number one is a valid will. When I say I'm not saying a will, I'm saying a valid will, because we have come across a number of wills, and those wills, they become invalid because of certain things that they did not comply with. And also an inter vivo trust or a testamentary trust to benefit your loved ones of a generation. So it's important, obviously, to have a will in place, and also it's important to have a trust in place. Whether you're having an inter vivo trust as a discretionary trust or a vesting trust, or you decide to have a testamentary trust. A testamentary trust is the one that you include in your will, whereby the trust will only be opened or registered once you are no more. And also the important things to note when you are doing your estate planning is that your marriage regime will have an impact on the division of your assets at your death. So meaning if you are married in commutative property, you can't just decide to do your will alone. You have to do it with your spouse because of the joint estate, and also ensure that enough liquidity will be available for costs, liabilities, and taxes. So meaning, again, that's the part of the trust component. If you're having a trust, you're trying to minimize as much cost as you can by having a trust. And also the business succession planning, it also forms part of that planning. So the most important thing, or the most important message for us today, is thinking beyond our immediate family. So meaning, let's try and plan for our future. Let's try and plan for our generation to come. Let's not only try and do our investing and forget that there's going to be a time where the tomorrow, as we know, that is unknown. There's going to be a time where we are no more, and our children or our spouses, they don't know what to do. Let's try and plan today for the future. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. That was Poteka, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. If you do have a question for Poteka specifically, please drop it in the comments. What we will do is that because we do not have one resident who was supposed to be coming through, maybe I could ask both the residents to stay for one or two questions. And before we go out into the connect groups, we can then be able to give them an opportunity to ask those questions. But
Yeah.
let's go on to evictions. Elise, you deal with evictions every day. I've had a very painful exercise in the past, and me and you, we have evicted many other people, successfully, unsuccessful. Tell us what is happening today in the eviction world.
Good evening, Tara, and everybody online. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, so sorry, I couldn't get my name on here. I'm very better with evictions than I am to change my name on Google. So, evictions and investors, I think, goes hand in hand. And I think a lot of things that people think is you only need to worry about eviction when you buy a property and there's somebody in the property. Whether it's a good deal or not. Now, from Expella's side, we're not just dealing with evictions, but we're also dealing with the prevention of evictions. And I think this is something that investors have to keep in mind. I say we work with the best attorneys, but eviction takes time. You're looking at 3 months to get an eviction order granted, and it's 3 months that you're not going to earn an income. So, as an investor, the first thing that you have to keep in mind, if you buy a property and there's people inside the property that you need to evict, how much it's going to cost you and if it's going to still be a good deal. Because sometimes people think they get a good deal, but then when they do the calculations or when they're done with the eviction, it's not a good deal. So that's the first thing for an investor. The second thing is once you have your property and you are intending to keep it for investments, for especially for rentals. What we've seen is, especially now I've got a couple of matters now, is subletting. Make sure you know what is the type of market you want for your property. Is it going to be low cost rental, more expensive? Or if it's more expensive things, also make sure there's no subletting. People sometimes take shortcuts if they do not do vetting correctly. And it's popping up more and more. You are the clever investor buying a property because you want to let. You're happy because you get a tenant that's going to pay for the rent, but that tenant already also have plans and is creative and he's going to sublet. And that subletting is becoming a problem because the tenant then purely goes, okay, well, I'm going to end the lease agreement. He moves and he leaves his people behind. So always make sure the property that you buy, can you manage it? Or do you have a team that can manage it? Expert doesn't manage. But what we've seen is it really is a problem. Sometimes people buy properties which they can't manage or they don't know what they're getting into. And that really comes back and you can lose a very good investment just because you're not really up to date. So I think overall, make sure, do your homework, speak to your power team. Expella always, if you're always welcome to contact us. Taurai has got a link if they want more to know more about the Expella services. And also, we are nationwide. So I see different things in different provinces. And just interesting, TJ, in the past, evictions and all the funky stuff happened in Joburg first. These days, Cape Town is the first. They get all the weird stuff first, and then it's happening in Joburg. That is what we are seeing. So, we really see in the different provinces what's happening, and it's quite interesting. Thank you very much.
Amazing stuff. Thank you, Elise. I think we're going to ask you, Elise, the next time you come, tell us some good stories of what's happening out there. We enjoy to hear the stories. But it doesn't mean that if Elise tells us the stories, that's what we are going to go and do. We are clever investors, and that's what we are aiming to do. I do not see.
TJ, sorry, can I just say, guys, don't be scared of an eviction. Sorry, let me just give some good news. You don't have to be scared of an eviction. We have worked with people that has actually gone through 2, 3 evictions and they're still investing. So don't fear evictions, just manage it properly. You see, there's the good news. Thank you.
Elise, I always say that if you are divorced for the first time, doesn't mean you can't fall in love again. You can.
You
Right.
see.
Not true.
Right. Okay, good. And basically, the next stage is we are going to start the networking part. And I'll explain to you how the networking will work. So we're going to go into networking sessions. Right. What is a networking session? So basically, a networking session is that we are all going to go into a group. So I'm going to divide you, all of you guys, and then you're going to go into breakaway rooms. In the breakaway rooms, you will have 2 minutes. On the 2 minutes, consider the following things. Be on camera if you can, and everyone will have an opportunity. So, which basically means that you have 2 minutes. Introduce yourself, and the introduction goes something like this. Hi, my name is Bob. I am in Johannesburg. I am looking for deals to invest. And anyone on this team who has a deal, please let me know. My number is Papa Papa. That was maybe like 16 seconds, right? Or you can go something like this. Hi, I am here to learn. And is there anyone who can teach me in 2 minutes how I can sell something? Give me an elevator pitch. And someone on the group can give you a short answer. So this session here is not to talk about everything that you have. It's 2 minutes. And then within these 2 minutes, you can then connect after. Right? Does it make sense? So you can then connect after. So you don't have to be connecting today within this session. I'm just giving you a platform so that you can connect with people that you probably didn't know. Is that good? That is good. Let me know your feedback in the comments, how you found the networking. Did you find someone that you can work with? The idea is that you can know what others are looking for. And if you have that as an offering, you can connect with them, right? And that's the whole idea, number one. And then number two is to also find friends who are doing exactly what you're doing, trying to do. It can become lonely, my friends, in this business. Very, very lonely. So at least if you got someone else who's doing something that you're trying to do, like for instance, I just bumped into one room and then there's a gentleman who is in Nelspruit. He said he is trying, I think it's Nelson, he said, I'll probably connect with him later because he says he's doing student accommodation in Nelspruit. I do student accommodation in other towns, but I've never done it in Nelspruit. So now I know someone who's in Nelspruit who can I connect and say, hey, bruh, how's it working? Show me what you're doing. And maybe who knows, I may even join venture with him because I don't know Nelspruit. And had we not had this session, I would have never known about Nelson, right? That's a very typical that I can share here. Awesome. Any feedback? We are going to do another networking session, this time in different groups again, but not now. Now we're going to do something else. But what I'm trying to say here is get prepared. If you missed an opportunity and what I've just shared with you is juggling your mind to say, then it's time for you to prepare. The networking within these sessions, what I'm also trying to do is to get us to, there are a lot of people that are here and you don't know maybe where you can find some good deals. So there could be some other people in this room who may actually have deals, right? So what I am going to do, this was our first session. So obviously I don't have any deals, right? I've got my own deals that I'm doing, yes. But I want to give an opportunity to anyone who is in the sourcing space, anyone who is finding good deals, they're looking for a partner. The next time we have this session, connect with me. Every night we will give 3 people to present their deals. We will give you 3 minutes and you can present your deals. And thereafter, if there is anyone who's interested in the room, bingo, you go and have your own coffees, you speak about your deals. If it makes sense for you, you go and create whatever you need to create. If you need to have Pateka to draft the contracts for you, you reach out to her. If you need Elise to then do the evictions for you, if there's some form of evictions, you reach out to her. Whatever the situation of your deals is going to be. Does it make sense? Whilst I am on that, Is there anyone who's got a deal? Is there anyone? I'm going to give anyone an opportunity to present your deal in 2 minutes, literally in 2 minutes. And you mention your name, who you are, what is your deal all about. So today we are not going to expect any presentations and things like that, but from next month we will expect presentations. If there's no presentation, you don't do a prezi. And you're looking maybe for some funding or for a partner. I don't know. Anyone?
Yes,
Andrew, your hand is up.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Do you have a deal, my brother?
Okay. I'll just summarize. I have a deal. I just signed for a 4-roomed house in Garangua last week with the owner. And then I managed to at least give the owner some deposit so that he might not sell to somebody else. This is a vandalized house. The maximum value after repairs can be something like 600,000. And they are giving me for, let's say, 270. But I negotiated that at least if I can pay for rates and taxes separate, meaning I'm going to give the owner 114,000. Then the 150 for the rates and taxes, I'm going to negotiate and apply a section 118 to reduce the rates and taxes with about 70%. So what I need now is somebody who can help, who can help me to renovate the property. And my goal is to refinance. And if refinance does not work, then we sell the property so that the investor can get back his return on an investment. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Andrew, for that. Andrew didn't tell us his number or anything like that. You can direct your queries to me. You all know our numbers and our email addresses, and I'll get you in contact. I know Andrew personally. He is one of our members in the TJ tribe. He's been around for the last maybe, 2 years, brother? Right. Abraham, welcome. You got a deal there? What do you got? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I don't have a deal. My name is Abraham. Funding is my challenge. I'm into capital flipping, and sometimes currently, like I have 2 deals in my hand, which I just finished innovating, putting to the market. In the midst of all this, sometimes you run into some deals and good deals, but now finance to proceed because already you start with some stock in your hand and you still trying to sell. You understand? So the access to raise funding is my own challenge. Thank you.
Okay. So Abraham, he is in the game already, and he is always looking for these deals, and he does find them. And now this problem is that he is stuck. So what is now happening is that the properties, they haven't sold yet, so his money is stuck there. But now he's got another one and another one. So what should he be doing? It's a good question. If I'm to help you there, Abraham, I would say I would sell the other opportunity as an example. I'd quickly sell it to someone else who can do it. So for instance, like Andrew here, he found an opportunity for, let's say, 270. Maybe I would source it out for 50 grand, 20 grand, 10 grand. That's an example, right? That's number one. Number two, or I'll come to this community and I would ask anyone else to partner up with me. There's lots of people with money here, but obviously you need to do it the correct way. Besides doing it the correct way, you just need to make sure that partaker is also involved, or a partaker is also involved in that transaction, to make sure that Abraham, you're protected, whoever who's given the money is protected, and everybody in the room is protected, and the deal can go whichever direction that you guys are promising each other. So, Abraham, the next time you have a deal like that one, bring it here. Who knows? You may be getting some money in here. A deal could be going ahead. All right. I am going to go into the next section of our evening. Thank you very much. We were going to be going into our deals. I want to reinforce, guys, even though I know Andrew and he is a tribe member, when you are now working with Andrew, just because he is a tribe member or is a tribe member, it doesn't mean that you should forget to do your due diligence on Andrew, right? It is important that you do a due diligence. That's very, very important to anybody. If you're parting away with your money, just do your due diligence. Make sure that your money is going into a safe place and make sure that it is protected. I do not want you guys to get in trouble and start fighting and things like that. I want you to grow meaningful relationships. And that's my goal here in the tribe. Okay, good. Now, because today we are starting off, we do not have a guest speaker. I am going to be the guest speaker today. But whilst we are doing that, I also wanted to find out from you, if we are to invite anybody, who would you be happy to learn from? Someone that we can go and invite for 30 minutes to say, please come through and invite her and teach us something. In the comments, let me know. So number one, give us a name so that my team and I, we can go and chase them down. If you already know that person and you have a contact with them, give me the name and their contact numbers in the comments. And then obviously we can reach out to you and then you can be of connection to them. Anyone that you can think about who can help us in the journey of growing. I've always said, and I will remain saying this, I do not want to be the only teacher here. There's so many teachers out there, but this platform that we have created, which is the Tribe Connect, is for us to be able to learn from other people. So let me know if you know anyone who is doing some great things and we can invite them for 30 minutes, 40 minutes to come and teach us. Then please let me know in the comments or respond to any of our emails or respond to any of our WhatsApps. And then we can be able to get a hold of that individual and invite them. If they say no, that's all right. At least we tried. If they say yes, then they'll be here. Awesome stuff. I am going to go. Carlo wants us to invite a tax specialist. Carlo, why do you want a tax specialist? How much money are you making that now you're wanting a tax specialist? You shouldn't be scared of tax. You should pay your taxes. But Carlo, yes, you are very right, my friend. I am the only one who can speak like that to Carlo because Carlo has been a good friend of mine for a very long time. Right. Good. Right. Let's go on. I am going through into the aspect now of the guest speaker. Like I did mention, I am the guest speaker. So I am just pulling my presentation. And then thereafter, I will have my 30 minutes of fame. And you guys can clap for me. If you don't clap for me, next time you come in here, I will not give you access. So here we go. I thought let us talk about something that I thought it would be beneficiary to you. How do you become great? So the topic for today for me is going great. And when I'm saying going great, what do I mean by that? We are all in our different spheres of life. And going great means different things for different people. And I want to say to you guys, going great for me is basically, how do you go great from wherever you are starting from? How do you go great from wherever you are starting from? And if you're writing your notes, let's already start. We are all emerging investors on here today. And I went on to look at what does emerging investor mean? And an emerging investor basically means that it is someone who is results orientated and they want to watch their portfolio's growth. So which means that they're not just going out there and look for anything, but they are looking for something that is going to give them the result, which means we are in the game of measuring. And before, over and above that, they also try to instill some patience. Property, investing in property, being in business, it calls for some patience. If you are looking to get rich quick, this is not the platform for you. And I want to reinforce that instilling patience in your business. How? By educating themselves about the business, about the different risk levels, and what is shifting in the market. Today, student accommodation might be a buzz. Everybody is trying to do it. Tomorrow, hospitals might be a buzz. Next year, maybe it might be retirement villages. The other year, it might be Airbnb. So what is working? And what are the risks that is associated with it? But above that, also providing leadership. Leadership to who? I want to start by saying that leadership starts with you. If your leadership cap is at level 2, it basically means that your business is only going to grow to level 2. If your leadership cap grows to around about 5, it basically means your business is going to grow to 5. Where we are leading ourselves to, so is our business. But I am going to explain to you on how best we can unpack all of this. But this, my friend, is the true definition of you being an emerging investor. So let us start. So how do you become great? The first thing that I want to stress out to is that look beyond your current situation. Look beyond your current situation. A lot of us, we are in the space where we blame history, where we blame the government, where we blame the system, and I don't know which system that is, but everybody speaks about the system. And we have, maybe some of us have even gone into debt, like what I was back in the days. But I almost want to say to you, my friends, that there is nothing that lasts forever. Everything has a season. So for that reason, how best can you look beyond your current situation? Because your current situation will end. But how does it end? It can only end if you, the emerging investor, can start working in you, can start looking at between what am I great at, between what is it that I have weaknesses on. And thereafter, you can start seeing yourself for not who you are today, but for who you can become. Someone said, I'm wanting to start to do is student accommodation. So they are looking to become an investor in that space. So who you are today will end. At some point, you were a baby. At some point, you became an adult. At some point, you didn't have the skills that you have today. And this is what I'm challenging yourself to say, be intentional in looking beyond. So when you're now looking beyond, you're being intentional to say, I want to become X. And when you become X, then you start looking into the gap between today and the X. And now you can start to work around that. A lot of you might know this building here. I bought this building a while ago, I think maybe about 4 years ago. And within this building, I think it was my second big building that I bought. I bought it with two partners at the time. And before that, round about 6 years before that or so, my first property that I had bought intentionally in the property space, it was a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1 unit. The picture that you're seeing here, it's a 20 unit. However, if I look back from where I started, which was a 2-bed, 1-bath, which I bought for 160,000, I started with what I had. And then from there, this building became a reality. Now, why am I telling you about the two buildings? Literally 1 unit and a building. This building that you're seeing here, I bought it for 5 million. There's a rental income of 100,000. The first unit that I bought it for 160,000, and there was 5,000 rand coming in for rent. A lot of us, we want to start when X happens. We want to start when so and so. We want to start when ABC has happened. We want to start when. My friends, I am here to tell you that start before you are ready. I was not ready when I bought this building. I didn't know how to manage 20 units. But I learned, I knew how to manage a 1-bed. I understood the process. But when it came to 20 of them, I said to myself, TJ, you are going to learn in the process. Who can teach you between now and when this property is going to register? So I took the risk. And before I was ready, I started learning. And before that, I knew exactly where I was. And before that, I also looked beyond my current situation, which was just a 1-bed, 2-bath. Sorry, a 2-bed, 1-bath. And I looked at myself as someone else who can. And I didn't have the resources, but I said, there is other people who've got some money here. And I said to myself, but I don't know how to do that. And I looked at where I was at the moment then, and I said, but how do contracts get done? And I said to myself, but how do you even speak to them? And all of these things I learned, and bingo, this property today is in existence. Had I not started, this year would have not happened. Had I not started, I would have said, well, I'm not ready. Let me get this and this ready. Let me do A, B, C, D. My friend, that time may not come. So start before you are ready. I want to challenge you and say to you, renew your mind. Where you are today is based on where you are coming from. At a point, your environment was only this small. So was your mind. And some of us, we have come to the big city and we started seeing all of these things that happen in the big city, but we're still in the small mind in our own little corners. We do not let our mind wander, or we do not let our mind ask the question, or we do not let our mind just think that we can. It's not expensive at all to do that. Maybe you think that you'll be someone who charge you for that. You don't. It's just you thinking. You can think of yourself as a millionaire or even a billionaire. Nobody's going to charge you anything. You might be saying to yourself today, but TJ, how do I renew my mind? My friends, I'm going to be a little bit more practical to you. I remember back in the days when I had the dream. It was just a dream and it was a thought. One day I would like to own a property in Durban. One day I would like to own a business in Cape Town. One day I would like to go to the UK. I don't know how. But my mind was renewed. It was just a thinking in the beginning. But then what I started doing from a perspective of renewing my mind is that I started hanging out with other people that were doing exactly what I was trying to do. In conversations, my mind started being renewed. I didn't even have 10,000 Rand in my pocket, and those people were talking millions. My mind was being challenged. How do I? So, my friends, hanging out with other people who are doing exactly what you're trying to do can be easy, free of charge, an easy way of renewing your mind. Another one is actually physically going to school. Today, all of you have a profession. That profession, if you are to ask your grandmother, or if you are to tell your grandmother exactly what you do in your profession, she may not be able to comprehend it. Why? Because her mind is still stuck in previous years. However, your mind was renewed. You opened up to learning. You went to school. You got the learning. Some of you even have certificates for that. You are highly qualified than me. So which meant that your mind got renewed. You opened up your mind in terms of being educated. And now you are able to do the work that you are able to do today. So similarly to the journey that you are wanting to take. And by the way, I'm not talking about real estate. It might be anything at all that you're wanting to do. How best do you renew your mind so that you can be great? And it might be great to be opening up a business. It might be great to own real estate. It might be great to own real estate in different countries. It might be great to expand your business like never before, or even start a business. I've given you the process, and it's pretty simple on how you can renew your mind. Someone said to me one day, TJ, you do not have to start to be great, but you can start to be great. I said, say what? He says, TJ, you do not have to start to be great. I said, yes, I get that. And he says, but you can start to be great. A lot of us are procrastinating. We've been on the fence for a long time. You met me at a conference somewhere. You says, TJ, how do you do this? I said, come, I'll teach you how to do it. And then you're on the fence. No, I'm going to do it. No, I can't do it. No, I'm going to do it. No, I can't do it. So you're on the fence. You're neither white or black. You're neither hot or cold. You're lukewarm. Right? My friends, procrastination, this is what it's talking about here. So for you to be great, you got to start. And where do you start from? It doesn't matter. Everyone who is in the TJ tribe knows that. I am always calling for progress versus perfection. Some of you are sitting on the fence because you are wanting to perfect something before you start. TJ, I don't have money. That's great. By the way, I was in debt 5 million when I started. TJ, I do not have so and so. TJ, I'm a foreigner. TJ, my wife. TJ. It's just complaints after complaints after complaints. And for that reason, you find yourself not even starting. You find yourself in rooms like these ones. You're coming in every day, connecting with others, but you yourself are not starting and nothing is moving ahead. So I'm going to challenge you here. My homework to you is start. If it is learning, start. If it is doing business, start. It costs you maybe just under 1,000 rand to register your company. Start. It costs you nothing to think about the name. Yeah, nothing at all. Or I'm going to give you an example or a tip maybe. Put the company name as your name, be great. So if your name is Susan, the company's name is Susan Be Great. Yeah, I've already given you a name, free of charge. So my friends, let me continue. I want to come to another point here. Again, we're still talking about how do you become great? So becoming great is what we're talking about. This is a very expensive one that many of us don't do. And this is think, and I'm going to say think with an exclamation mark here, but actually the sentence goes something along the lines of think things through. But because in our communities, we do not think, our brains are for other things, are for entertainment, but they are not for us to be making money. And I'm saying this with all due respect, because sometimes we hear so many things that are there to progress our lives, but we just don't think. Instead of thinking, we go and ask Susan, or we go and ask Betty. Betty was not in the meeting with you. Or we go and ask Uncle John. Uncle John, is it a good idea to invest in property? Uncle John is a poor guy. He is living on SASA. What is he going to give you or advise you on that? He can't. He's wasted his time and money a long time ago. So when I'm saying think, I'm really saying apply whatever that you are learning to yourself. That's the first thing here, think. But I want to now read the whole sentence. Think things through. So whilst you're thinking it through, you're applying it to your circumstances, you're weighing out options 1 and option 2. Nobody's going to come and save you. The government is not going to give you some money and say, yeah, you can start, right? Maybe you might be thinking, I'll get a grant. It's only those that are connected. But what I'm saying here is think things through, then follow through. A lot of us, we come into a session like this, or plenty other sessions that we go into, and it ends in the excitement era. And the excitement era is, oh, this guy TJ, oh, and Usis Pateka is doing so great. Oh, so. And we keep on talking about other people. But we are not following through on ourselves. You are given a book to go and buy. You don't follow through. It's 150 rand. You can't go and buy the book. You invited to a training session. You come, it's for free. You say, I want to learn. You say they come through. You don't follow through on it. Whose fault is that? This year's statement is a statement for you. It's not about your partner or anyone else. It is about you. This year is to challenge you. Think beyond where you are today to get to be great. It is not expensive, and we can all do it. And that is the challenge here, my friend. I also want to say to you that a lot of us, we are in our own little corners where we sit and we mull on these issues, and there are no issues at all. Or we do all the wrong things and we create issues for ourselves. In this picture here, I took this picture a while ago, maybe about a year or 2 years ago. This brother of mine, basically, he reached out to me and he says, TJ, please help me. I said, what's the problem? He says, I bought an RDP house. I said, okay, cool, nice. When? He says, about 4 years ago. But the problem is that I don't receive any statements. I said, okay, good. So how did you buy it? He says, it was an elderly guy whose wife had died, and this guy was going back to his rural areas. And we did an affidavit. I gave him 50,000 Rand, and I gave him, we wrote on an affidavit, and we went to the police station. And yeah, that's how I bought the house. I said, whoa, my friend, you didn't buy a property. Was there any lawyer involved? No. We went to the police. I've got the affidavit with me here. I started researching to see how many people buy properties with an affidavit. Plenty of people. I said to this guy, bro, I can't help you, but I know someone who can help you. I sent him to Pateka. They had their discussion. 5-6 months later, I heard that the property then transferred into him and his wife's name. And I was worried that if this guy dies, how is his wife and 4 kids going to claim with an affidavit that they have a house? Or if that guy had died, leaving a mess for your own family. So my point here is, we all get stuck. And being unstuck, we should not remain there. If you got a problem for more than 2 days, 2 days is a long time. For me, if I've got a problem that I can't resolve in 5 minutes, I'm already on my phone. I'm like, who is on my phone here who can help me out? Because my friends, just calling someone could help you to jog your memory or your thinking to get to a better result, or that someone can give you an answer, or that someone can direct you to someone else who can help you. But we do not ask, and we sit in our little corner. So I am pleading with you, ask for help. And when I'm saying ask for help, I also mean in all aspects of your life. Might be suffering with something medically, go and see a professional. There might be an issue with your affairs, go and see the professionals. Something might not be right upstairs in your head, go and see a professional. Ask for help. People that ask for help, they progress better in life. Once you are at it, and you start seeing moving slowly, so far where we are in the timeline of what I'm giving you, my friends, you will start to see some progress. But then the next point that I want to share with you is that stay committed in the deal or the cause. So I'm going to mention here, so you have decided that you are going to be in real estate. That's your thing. So welcome. Nelson, he said he wants to become an investor in student accommodation. So welcome. In 2 years from now, Nelson, do not go astray into something else. Stay committed into your student accommodation, build that portfolio, make it grow, become like a super expert in that area. And only after you've built a business around it and that business is running on its own, on its own, and you're not in that business, but you're on the business, then you leave and you start going to do something else. But here's the problem. We want to be involved in selling solar today. Tomorrow we want to sell books. Hey, but tomorrow we are selling cars. And the next day, who knows what? You are spreading yourself thin. Those that have built great rooms, they stay committed to the deals and to the cause of what they are fighting for. When Mother Teresa was feeding thousands and thousands and thousands of people, we didn't hear that Mother Teresa had gone on to do rugby. We didn't hear that Mother Teresa now she is doing export and imports. She stayed in her course. When Sia Kolisa and the team went on to win now the World Cup, we never heard them talking about, no, Sia is now doing karate now. So staying committed to your cause will bring great results. My friends, success is never owned. It is rented. And the rent is due every day. And that rent is called work. All of you are employed somewhere today. But once you start working in your business, you need to dive into that business and continue working in that business. And when the success comes today, it is gone. We stop talking about it. We keep on working. And with the work that we are on, more success comes in. And I want to go back again to the rugby scenario. When we first won the first match, it was success. But when we went on to lose with another team, we had already forgotten about the other success. And again, we got another success. But the team never stopped training. They went in, day out to train. And then eventually, they won. So exactly in our space, that's the same thing that needs to happen here. No difference. Today, we are going to buy our 1-bed, 1-bath. Continue working. Tomorrow is going to be a 2-bed, 1-bath. Continue working. The next day is going to be a house. Continue working. The next day is going to be a small building. 2 of them in the same time. Continue working. And when you look back, it's a big thing that you've now built. And you have stayed in the course. And I hope, my friend, that this is making sense. But I want to close off by saying to you, a lot of us, we live a life where tomorrow we don't even know that it's coming. Or even next year. We live a life by just living. Tomorrow will see itself. I want to challenge you to say, my friends, you need to live a life of expectations. Expect great things. Because you're great. Because you're smarter. Because your Creator has given you something that is not given anybody else. You owe it to yourself to be creative. You owe it to yourself to connect with other people. You owe it to yourself to build for you, to build for your family and your own generation. But you gotta look ahead. And when you're looking ahead, live a life of expectations. I expect my Creator to bless me. But today I am working. So my goal is to work so that I can buy that one building. But my Creator might, if He intervenes, when He intervenes, I'm going to buy 3 of them. How it's going to happen, I don't know. But I'm going to continue working. So I am living my life expecting to be blessed. I am living my life continuing the work today. Live a life full of expectation. Expect to get good deals when you go out there. Expect to have some favor when you go out there. Expect that someone will give you a great discount. The more you expect it, the more it comes. I expected you guys to come. About 2 months ago when I thought about this, I said, maybe let's have a Tribe Connect. And bingo, there you are. We are here today. My revelation is that I expected, and now it is here. I'm still expecting more of you to come. so that we can all connect. And that is me, my friends. I hope you are going to be great. But thank you very much for listening to me. And like I did say, if there is no any clapping, next time I will not invite you here. So you better clap for me. Awesome stuff. Cool. Appreciate all of your love, even though it is under duress. That is great. I hope you've taken one or two words out of it, and you can apply it into your own space. All of these things that I have mentioned. Right. And let me go into questions and answer. Anyone who's got a question, and the question might be based on my presentation, or it might be based on the previous presenters, or it might be based on randomly anything now that has come to your mind. And it's just an open question. You can either raise your hand, we'll unmute you, and we can go through into that questions. Zuki, thanks for your question. Zuki says, any tips you can share about the starting journey on getting that building? Okay, good. So Zuki, I want to say or stress out the fact that block of flats are not common to find. In most cases, they are in areas that I want to call them grade D. So let's look at, let's say, Sandton is a grade A. I'm sure all of us, we know Sandton. It's a grade A because all of the rich people stay there. Grade B could be something like, let's say, the Bryanstons. And grade C could be something of the Randbecks. And Berea could be something of the grade C's. D, sorry. In that order, right? So for that reason, I want to say that you need to go into old neighborhoods, right? Established old neighborhoods. That's where you're going to find plots of land. Zuki, unmute yourself. Where are you based so that I can point you in the right direction?
Hi there, TJ. I'm based in East London.
East London. Okay, good stuff. The last time I was in East London was many years ago when I was still working for the company, the Steinhoff Group. And that's almost about 12 years ago. In East London, in the CBD, you are going to get blocks of flats. Other than the CBD, East London, I don't think you're going to get that. That is for existing buildings. If it is not existing buildings, you are going to look at spacious pieces of land, plus minus 2,000 squares. The municipality allows you to build a block of flats. So for around about 2,000 squares, you are looking at plus minus 10 units, 20 units, provided you're going to provide parking. So in the 2,000 squares, you probably get away with around about 15 of the banks that can fund you. Mercantile can fund you, TAF can fund you. Those are some of the other guys that can fund in such areas. I'm talking about East London. Yeah, ABSA also, they're quite active that side. We are going to end the show here. Was this helpful to you at all? Should we do it again? Is it something that you guys would want to do into the future? I'm going to throw out what do you call it? A poll. Just hit yes, no, yes, no. Was this helpful at all? And if it was, awesome. Should we do it again? Let me know in the comments. If we are to do it, I am not going to do it very close to each other. We'll probably do it once a month, right? And then we can grow our community like that, provided if it was helpful to you. And obviously, we'll always have our residents, a guest speaker, and then we can go into questions and answers. So I appreciate your time for being here. Good. Right. So it looks like a lot of us were saying, yes, it was helpful. Yes, we should do it again. So if it is a yes that we do it again, so let us meet again. When? We will meet on the 5th of December. What day is it going to be? The 5th of December, it is going to be a Tuesday. So, which basically means that we are meeting then. Watch out for the emails or for the WhatsApp coming through from us. And then we will do this again. Hopefully, we will secure a guest speaker, someone who can come in and teach us. I'll take note of all of those other recommendations that you have given us. And if we can find someone else to reach out there for that specific subject, we will do that. But bearing in mind that they're literally coming in to teach us for 30 minutes, it's literally just scratching, right? Because there's so many things in business, but at least it will give us some direction. I'm going to end up with Carlo. Carlo, you want to give a comment? Go ahead, brother.
Yes. So yeah, real quick question, man. First of all, thanks Amol for this whole session and expressing all of your insight, spending time with us. It's highly, highly valued. And then also, something you said was very inspiring. Start even if you're not ready, you know. So in respects to that, I want to ask you a question. Like, so we're having the sessions right now, right? But I do not have a deal under contract yet, right? However, we are looking for, certain investors. So I just wanted your perspective on, what's your perspective on presenting prototype deals, like, the dummy deal.
Oh, sure. I'm lukewarm around it, right? So I do think that from a deal finder perspective, it opens up the conversation to see that who exactly is committed to investing. That's number one. Number two, it may be frustrating to the investor though, because if you're bringing me something that is not there, and I want to be in a deal now, and I have the money, then that might be challenging, you see. So I would say if you're doing a prototype, do a prototype of something that you have done in the last maybe 3 to 6 months, as an example, or you have done something, there's something that's brewing, but you haven't really signed the contract on it. And there is a reason why you haven't signed it. Maybe you're just worried and not so sure how to get out of it. And you can then say to that investor, look, if you're good with the money, the deal is already there. I was just showing you high levels. But if you are firm with me that the money is there, I can also go and affirm on the deal.
Okay, that's
Good.
very interesting, man. Thanks for perspective on that. And then I was just wondering, what if it was like an apartment block, right? And it was like an apartment, for example. So all the apartments in that block is virtually the same. So now we're just, showing a prototype of what deal we most likely to get. Whatever it was, I think. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Then that makes sense, right? So
Okay.
because all of them are the same.
Thanks a million, man.
Cool. Thank you, Carlo, for asking that question. Sibiwe, go for it, brother.
Yes, Tara. It was a great presentation, man. It's the first time in this platform. I've been trying to connect every time I get caught up with uh, work-related issues. But yeah, I think we should do these things more often until we get up on our feet and be confident, to strike some deals, learn as much as possible. So I just heard you proposed 4 weeks from now. I was wondering if isn't that maybe far stretched? I don't know. Maybe it's something that the flow can consider on that. And the second one, I heard Abram speaking about a property somewhere in Karankua. So how do we engage going further if it happens that we might maybe get into some more information regarding this? Do we via you or we have to talk out of this meeting? how do these things work? That's
Sure,
what
no
I
problem.
want to get maybe. Yes, thank you.
Okay. In this case, the deal is Andrew's deal. And Andrew happens to be one of the tribe members, so I do know him personally. So you're most welcome to reach out to me. I'll connect the two of you via WhatsApp or something like that. I do have your cell phone numbers, PUA, so I can just connect you with Andrew, and then you guys can meet up and arrange whatever that needs to be done.
Yeah, no problem. Please do so. Let's see how far we can go with this.
Awesome. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your time with your families, and we meet again on the 5th. And look out for WhatsApps or an email, and who knows, invite others as well so that the engagements can be great. It is I, TJ. We'll chat later. Good night.